Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our chatty coffee date. Sabrina and I are here to really I love for these video podcasts to just be those conversations with a friend that you wish you could sit down and have. Something I know we've been talking a lot lately about struggle and just life and chaos and all of the things. But I think that regardless of what season of life we're in, especially as women and Christian women, I think there's a great connector here in all of this, is that there are lies that we tell ourselves that steal our joy. And it's one thing to say, life is as lovely as you choose to see it, find the blessing in everything, find the beauty in every day. Yes, those are all true. But I think there's that internal battle that we go through. And there are 5 that I thought of that I want us to touch on here today.
Whoa.
So I've got it
oh my goodness.
So put together.
Wow. Okay.
Right? So I think there's 5 that we all say, and maybe even subconsciously. We might not even realize how much we say this to ourselves.
It's almost like societal standards where it just is. You just do it and people expect it, so you just follow along with status quo, and you're not swimming upstream, you're just going along with everybody, but you haven't even thought about not going along with everybody because that thought's so just there.
Right.
So you do subconsciously tell yourself all kinds of things every day.
First one though, I am not enough.
Ugh.
See, right? So it's not that it's not a hard hitter right off the bat, but I am not enough.
Oh, okay.
How many of us believe that? And maybe even subconsciously. Maybe you're not even realizing how much you believe that.
Because that is just comparison. Enough is a comparison to something else. Because it's not a measurement. It's a feeling of measurement. And so
that's a good distinction.
It's not accomplishable because you're comparing it to something else and you're going, oh, well, that's more or less, but usually it's more. And then you're like, oh, man, I'm not enough. Oh, I didn't do that, or whatever it is.
Well, because we look at it and we go, okay, how many times do we believe that? Blank is not enough. I am not enough. My income is not enough. My standard of cleanliness in the house is not enough. My productivity is not enough. Literally, you can insert anything there is not enough. That's a lie that we're choosing to believe, maybe even subconsciously, that is absolutely a thief of joy.
It is. Because it's not really not enough. It's just not enough in comparison to somebody else's or what you had assumed needed to be.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that it actually needed to be. It just meant that you felt like it needed to be, so then you didn't do enough or produce enough or don't feel up to snuff enough.
And I feel like there's a couple ways to do that, because on one hand you go, okay, if I'm believing this, that I am not enough, I didn't do enough, I didn't make enough, I didn't whatever enough, right? Whatever it is. I think there's 2 ways to look at it, because one way you go, okay, well, what is enough? If I'm not enough, then what is enough, right?
You have to have something to, again, compare it to. You have to have, this is a standard of enough, and then you go, oh man, I'm not enough, because that's what you're doing. So what is that standard? What are you comparing it to? Who are you comparing it to? What is your enough?
Because I think most of the time when we do that, I think most of us would say, I've always done business seminars and stuff like that back in my corporate days, right? And so they always have you come in and they go, okay, usually it's financial related in some way, shape, or form. And they'll say something like, what are you, how much are you trying to make, right? Because usually because you're trying to, increase some sort of something or other, right? And it usually comes back to money. And so they say, okay, well, how much money is your goal, right? Because often you say, well, I'm not making enough.
Okay, I totally understand. Definitions and defining things are incredibly important. And you have to first identify the definitions that you have and what they mean to you. And then you have to figure out what is the definition of enough?
Right.
What number is enough financially in the business world? So like, what number is enough?
Right.
Define it. Put real life applicational numbers in play, and not just this, oh, well, it's just not enough. Because when it's all like floaty in your head, it's not enough. Oh, you have nothing concrete to be like, well, what is enough? Well, enough is a roof over my head. That's enough. Because why would that not be enough? Oh, no, that's definitely enough. Enough is survival.
Yeah.
It's not good, but
right,
like,
and maybe it is. And maybe it was that today I really did need to, like, maybe I'm trying to dig myself out of a hole, and today I really did need to do more. Maybe I really did need to give more, and I know deep down inside that I didn't, right?
Yeah,
I know
absolutely.
I know I needed to, and I didn't. But instead of sitting here and just living in the I am not enough thief of joy, I can say, you know what I'm going to learn from today? You're right. I need to really take my doom scrolling seriously, put the phone down, and be active in my life, be present in my whatever, right? Like maybe today is day one of learning the lesson of where I've been trapped by this thief, and I need to start being intentional in moving forward and, digging myself out of that. Like maybe I did learn something today from that. But it doesn't mean that you are not enough. No. Maybe today you didn't do, maybe you can define. I know today to define enough, it was I needed to actually get up and get a shower. Yeah. I needed to tackle 2 things around the house and be present in my children's life, right? Or whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to think of things. Like maybe that is
enough could be going to the dentist.
Right. Like I need to get up and I need to actually make it to this appointment, right? Like absolutely. Maybe that's it. But maybe I don't hit that mark today. It doesn't mean that I don't have to let that thief hold me hostage. But I have to say, okay, I can learn from this. And tomorrow, I know that doesn't define me. It just shows me where I need to be intentional.
Oh, it's not about thinking about what you've done and the concentrating on that, but how to move forward from it. What can I do if today I really wasn't enough and I didn't do my part, and man, I really should have done better. The thing that you got to do is actions tomorrow. You can't wallow in the thought, and it doesn't matter what the thought is, but right now the thought is I'm not enough, and that could really take over and you could really wallow in it. Or you could be like, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to try again with a different mindset, and I can do it. I'll do better, and if not, I can try again the next day.
Because there's no such thing as failure.
Yeah, I know. You say that all the time.
Failure is only when you stop trying, right? Every time you fail, you just learned a lesson. Let that lesson teach you, move on, and do it. Now, we've shared 4 other thieves of joy that might be impacting your day-to-day. And so if you want to see the next one, be sure to continue watching right here in this video.